YouTube, or at least I have to press that button, go live. There we go. That'll be a lot easier, of course. Let's get started on some bug bounty things, shall we? Now, for YouTube, of course, this is going to be about bug bounty stuff. Why is that? Because this methodology for pen testers is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be the same to a degree. We all have seen RedSite before, and if you haven't seen RedSite, come to RedSite because we have so much stuff on it. If you want to hack along as well. Now, of course, we have been over this. First, we start up a man-in-the-middle proxy. That's the very first thing we should be doing. I hope I'm sharing my screen, by the way. Yep, but not to YouTube yet. There we go. First things first, we should be starting up our man-in-the-middle proxy. Now, I'm going to use Zap today because I'm a stubborn little bastard who likes to, I don't know, I like to go against the grain. Everybody likes burp. I don't like burp anymore. Everybody starts liking Zap. I don't like Zap anymore. Yes, let's do that. So we first of all we have to set up our context as well. We have our end scope. We have our out of scope. We all saw that, and it's in Dutch. Ooh, that's ugly. Oh, that's gonna be ugly. I hate it when things like this are in Dutch. You would think I would understand my own freaking language, but nothing is more wrong than that when it comes to technical language. I think that this is going to be, first of all, I hope that I put that right. So let's do a manual exploration. Let's go to our site, RedSite, and let's launch our browser. I'm going to be using Firefox today as my browser of choice. The provided browser was not found. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to be using Chrome as my browser of choice today. Oh, Zap, why Zap? Why do you have to be this way? I swear to God, do I really have to go back to my old habits? No, I don't. What? Jesus, okay. Let's just pretend that nothing happened and continue on my target. And first of all, of course, we have everything set up because it's going to start attacking. There's arbitrary URLs. Those that are in scope. Ooh. Nope, I did not. Ooh. Looks like I fucked something up. Let's do it like this then. Right click, include in context, and let's do that in the default context. There we go. And let's try again. I don't want any of this in my sites. I am in protective mode, so that means that it shouldn't be attacking sites that are not in scope. And here we can do something like, let's start our spidering first. That's going to be important, of course. We also should do probably some fuzzing on this website, so let's also get that started already. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna take the whole... I want to start here. This is where you need to start. Stop you. Come on, stop. So let's do it like that then. This is where it needs to start. It needs to attack. So, Anval, Jesus, so ugly. Yep, let's do it like that and start our scan. We did just start up a spotter, right? Okay, perfect. And then let's do some fuzzing as well. So let's see, right click, attack again, fuzz. And now we're going to fuzz some subdirectories or some PHP files. Let's do PHP files, shall we? So to do something different, do we have our this one? Is this the index.php request? Nope, that's not. So let's send our request to login.php. Doesn't matter which one, as long as I get a web page. There we go. And now we're going to fuzz this one. I want to fuzz the login part, add that as a parameter, and we're going to see file, I think. File fuzzers, dirbuster, that's the directory list. There, I don't think that they have a PHP file list in here, so let's add one then, shall we? Let's just use a file. I think that's gonna be easiest. What is this even taking? Is this just... Yeah, this is just a list. Okay, let's just use a list then. That might be easier. We're going to get a list from, I think, stack lists. Common PHP file names, that would be a good one, I think. Let's copy the file content. Let's put that in our zap. Oh, what did I see there? Let's do that again. This already has the PHP behind it. I didn't select my PHP. There we go. Add. Now we can start our fuzzer. Alright, now let's log into the website, shall we? Very first thing you should be trying really easy credentials like test. We also got admin, for example. Am I in freaking... No, yeah. Alright, apparently also very weak password username. Login. Admin test. We can try a lot of default credentials should be tried out here. Now, if you come into a login page, that usually means that it's protecting something. That's why the fuzzer can also be very useful to potentially find things behind this login page. Right now, of course, there's probably going to be in the same directory, or it's going to be directing you to some other directory, which we might not have yet, which we might be looking for later. Right now, I can tell you that everything, of course, is in one directory because I am a person who does not like folders. No, that's not it. I was just quickly putting together a lab, and as you guys might have seen, I've been bypassing the CAPTCHA all this time. Of course, as a pen tester, all things that you should be reporting. Now, let's look a little bit deeper into the website and let's try to create a new contact. I don't know if that's possible, so we'll see, because I think that might be broken. There was at least one thing that was broken. Could have been invoices as well. Nope, that's perfect. Contacts are still a thing. Now, we've been able to make contacts, but anything that I should be checking on a form behind the login page, that is a CRUD, create, read, update, delete. Of course not your reading, but anything I should be checking here. Yep, that's right, you guessed it, your CSRF tokens. And you might be seeing CSRF is dead. It's really not. There is not even a CSRF token in here, so that does mean that we are able to make our CSRF proof of concepts. Now I'm going to make my CSRF proof of concept through the browser manually because I want you guys to see the repetition of that. So let's do that real quick, shall we? We have our request, so we go to network. We have a request that's being made that we can see here, going to new contact.php, and we are redirecting from the website. Really annoying because, of course, as you can see, now everything's gone. Why is that? Because it says I've created a new contact, blah blah blah, and then it redirects you off of the page. Can you stop that? Yeah, of course. Like, you just wait. Up, there we are. Ooh, I might be a little bit too late yet. So just the moment that I see my request, I can already stop it. So make a request, and I can stop it because that is the request that I do need. So we have the request URL. We can just put it in here. Ooh, I forgot my H, I see. And then we can look at the payload itself. Copy this over. As you can have already seen, that payload is a little bit different. That is because it uses the equal sign. It doesn't use any space, any enters. The parameters are merged together with your ampersand sign. So, of course, there we go. Email equals. And then we have our last name that we also include in here, of course. Alright, now let's download that CSRF proc and let's make something at least recognizable that we have there, so we know that it is a CSRF contact that we've created. I'm gonna click it, I'm gonna click it again, so whoop, Let's see, wait until it has created a contact and redirected us. No contact has been created because apparently we're not logged in here. Logical, of course. Then we're going to go back to that file that we just downloaded. So where is it? Let's download it again real quick. We're going to go to our browser here where we are logged in. And we're going to see that we have a contact created. We're locked out. No. Why did you do this to me? I think I was logged in with the test user. I'm not sure. Test, admin test. I don't know. You guys ask too many questions. Don't need this for now. And we can see, okay, this is the account that we have. Let's go back to that concept that we were at before. Let's submit that thing. Do we have a new contact here? Yes, we do, a CSRF contact. And you guys might be wondering, okay, Uncle Red, but why is that really impactful? Because, of course, this is one thing, but let's just open this file. So let's just open the file itself with Notepad++, and now we're going to do something fun. We're going to include some cross-site scripting, of course. So in the value right here, we can do some magic. Image source equals X. So this is not cross-site scripting yet. This is just HTML injection. And I'm going to try to get my proof of concept right here. So let's reload that. We have our broken image in there. I'm going to try to submit that. We don't have anything in here right now. Okay, we don't have it. So let's see, page 2 though. There it is with our broken image. Now that's one step in the right direction, but we need to add some more things to make this something really impactful. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to add an event handler on error equals alert. Let's pop that alert. There we go. And we should be beautiful. There we go. We have cross-site scripting. We're not logged in anymore. I don't know why. For some reason, it has a fetish for logging us out today. So let's submit. And let's go to the contacts again. We still don't have our contact, I think, in here. But you get the gist of it. So we have this in here. Now what we want to do is we want to smuggle out cookies. So if you're pen testing for me, or if you're doing bug bounties, you're going to want to smuggle out cookies. You can do that by going to get any cookie smuggling script basically. So XSS cookie grabber. And we're going to, I think I already saw it in my repository list there. Easy cookie stealer. This is a cookie stealer in PHP. I don't need it like this right now because I need the JavaScript cross-site scripting cookie stealer. I think it was, I saw something from Python. I think this one was it, where we can just grab the image tags. There we go. Yep. And then we can make a callback to our own web server. So we can say on error this.source equals, and then we can put our own servers in here. So on error this.source equals, and then we are going to grab from webhook.site, just for demonstration purposes, of course. Copy to clipboard. There we go, and I think it was just, yep, adding the document.cookie behind that. So let's do that, shall we? Anything that we need besides this? I don't think so, right? This seems logical, except for, yeah, no, maybe, nope, this is alright, this is alright, this is alright. Where does my, yep. And then I think we are all right now. So let's see with a proof of concept. Let's grab that into our browser again. There we go, and then we have on air. Yep. Let's see if we can make a callback to our server. Nope, because we're not logged in again for a change. Let's go to our contacts. Contacts on the second page, yep, and we should open up our proof of concept that we've just downloaded and adjusted again. And we can make another request. Now our last name should be vulnerable to cross-site scripting. In this case it didn't include the user specifically. Did we get a callback to webhook.site? It does not seem that we did, so something must be going wrong. Let's see if we can get cross-site scripting somewhere else on the website to see what's actually happening. We might actually get cross-site scripting here already, because as we search, we get our values reflected, and we do get what seems to be a cross-site scripting. So what we can literally just do is we can take our whole attack vector that we've just created, and we can prop it in there. We can see what's happening now. We still seem to have a broken image, or something is going on here. And look in the background what's happening, my friends. Requests are coming in. Now, can you guess what those requests are comprised of? You guessed it, the cookies. So we've just made, or we've copied, we've stolen a cross-site scripting cookie stealer. That's a great start already. We have CSRF. Through CSRF, we have, if something works, self-cross-site scripting to insert cross-site scripting through it. So as you might be able to see, that's a big vulnerability. CSRF in itself might not be a big issue, but this sure is. Now let's look for some more stuff, shall we? Because I'm sure there's more than enough in here. We have some contacts. If we edit contacts, we can see that this is item 341. But I wonder what happens if I change this to item 340. Do you guys think that I might be able to get some other people's data? Now, unfortunately not, but maybe there just isn't any data on here yet. That is these types of Jesus, how do you put this? How does the customers? So that's a possibility. That's a real possibility. What I should be doing right now is I should just be copying this link. And since I do have 2 accounts anyway, I'm going to log in with the administrator. Admin test, I believe it was. No, admin. And I'm going to try again. Unfortunately, it's not my item, so I cannot edit this contact, or at least I cannot view this contact specifically. But I wonder what happens. Let's create a new contact. Let's submit this contact then. There we go. So we have a contact. Now let's see what happens if we edit our contact and we go into Zap, but we edit another contact than we've been editing right now. So we might also see a post request. There we have it, to edit contacts.php. Let's send that to the request editor. Is this the request editor? No, I thought so. So there we go. And we might change this to, let's go and change it to 341 instead. So, and then send that over. What do we get as a response? It seems to have worked. At least it seems to have. Now we need to check this ourselves. So we log out, we log in as our test user, and we go to our contacts, and we see in the first name that we've sent over, so let's go back here, we should be able to find this in the first name and this in the last name. Oh, so I keep using Mac shortcuts. Jesus. So yeah, as you guys can see, we obviously have an IDOR on our hands, even though it might not seem like it at first sight. So with that knowledge, try deleting an item that's not yours either. So we do delete item thingy right here. And we know that we have 347 as one of the items that is not ours. So let's go back to the delete item. Can we see anything here? Delete contact. There we go. We have a get for that already. Do we have a post as well? No, apparently not. This has been just a request with a get. Okay, so real simple to verify this. All we have to do is we have to copy this URL, but let's do it in the request editor anyway. 347. So can we delete it? Let's send that request over. We do seem to have a pretty decent response from here. So let's go back and see if our contacts have actually been deleted on the admin account. Login, admin, test. Ooh. I keep doing this wrong. Why is this so difficult for me? And under our contacts, indeed, we don't have a single contact at all. Cheers to that, my friends. That's a pretty good vulnerability, if I say so myself. Hey, friends in the chat. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going okay for everybody here. It's
pretty serious, yeah.
Sorry, August?
I would say that it's pretty serious.
How would you rate this? Would you say critical, medium? Would you say it's a low vulnerability?
I would say critical.
In this case, indeed. I would put it as far as to go as critical, because I can delete other people's items. That is pretty bad. Yep.
Pretty critical, right?
Only a little. Only a little.
Yeah, just a little.
But the thing is as well is we have this type of vulnerability as our cross-site scripting, for example. That's gonna be on every page. You have cross-site scripting in multiple fields. So I'm gonna challenge everybody to find them all, because I'm not gonna do it for you. I'm going to instead move on to template injections. Let's go and contact customer support, shall we? So every single field that you guys come across, remember what you have to enter? Single quote, double quote, backtick, but I don't have a backtick on my keyboard and I'm too lazy to find it. Image source equals X. And then don't forget your $sign, then double curly brackets, 7 times 7. Oh look, I didn't type 49 in there. What the fuck is this? So then, what am I looking for here? Of course, template injections. That's gonna be a pretty big one. Now, when I'm looking for template injections, I'm going to be looking for vulnerable versions of jQuery, of JavaScript, jQuery, what the heck am I saying? Going to be looking of vulnerable versions of a templating engine. So let's see if we've been able to generate anything from that. Yes, we have vulnerable JS library, and we can see here we have some, like for example Bootstrap and jQuery as well. These are not the ones that we need right now, and to be honest, I would hope this is a little bit of a criticism to the Zap team. It would be good if Zap was able to pick stuff like this up, because this is a pretty big one. Of course, we haven't had any time to do any vulnerability injections or vulnerability scanning. I didn't allow this specifically, but you can easily pick that up by, if we look into here, we can see all kinds of versions of scripts. Yes, there is a secret.js. Yes, we will be looking at that later. But at a certain point, we can also find that that we're including AngularJS on this page. So Angular, we can see, oh, Angular test.php. Yep, that's the name of this page. Yeah, I thought customer support. Yeah, don't always trust blindly on what you see on screen. Here we can see that we have a Angular JS version of 1.4.6. So let's see if we can find any template injections for Angular 1.4.6, shall we? 1.4.6 template. And we already immediately come to things like this here, for example. Payload all the things, that is a pretty good one. Here we can see Angular JS versions specifically. We are in this version because we are 1.4.6. So we're going to pop our alert again. If we can find our website, there we go. And we have our alert, but we're going to take it one step further because we wouldn't be the rat if we didn't. So again, we might need to steal cookies. Remember, make an XHR request because it's JavaScript in this case. That can be a good one. You can steal cookies in more than just one way. We've only shown the image way, but there's also other ways to do it, of course, like you have your image through JavaScript. So it basically spawns like an image. We can try that. I'm not sure if it's going to work right here. I think if we go, there we go, to our attack vector, we can see that our attack vector uses single quotes in this instance. So I think the double quotes should be okay, but don't quote me on that, we'll see. So we have 108 requests coming in. Where is our string? There we go, our URL. And we have to replace this URL right here, of course. And then we see register. Nope, it didn't seem to have spawned an image, at least not at this moment, so something's going wrong. Oh, that's of course because I've put that in my alert. I'm a freaking moron. I don't need that alert. So we just remove that. Oh, and now I put it into a bracket. Yeah, I'm really on fire today, my friends. Nope, still no image, but you get the point. There are multiple ways to do this. You can also make XHR requests with JavaScript that is. Template injections aren't just a front-end thing, by the way. They also happen on back-end stuff, and that is where it gets even more risky, because here you can potentially escape the sandbox. You can do things like cross-site scripting, but in backend you can go even to remote code injection, so it can be particularly bad. Now, we haven't talked about broken access control yet. What I see right here is that I have quite a few modules, but now I'm going to see what happens if I register with a completely random new account, and we go and log in with that little shithead as well. There we go. So we can see that we don't have invoices, for example. But we do know that we do have a link with invoices, so we can go and check that out. Where was my website? There we go. We have, for example, invoices where we say post new contact. That's not it. Get new invoice. So here we can add new invoices. We can just open the URL in browser. And there we go, we have the new invoices page. That shouldn't be happening, especially not since I'm not even logged in yet, but I can just copy that just to see that. Ooh. One ahead, there we go, and we need to paste that in here, because here we are logged in as our low privileged user, and now we see that we don't have invoices. Let's put the date in there that is actually valid. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log into my private browser, because that'll be a little bit easier to track the two things. So we have our private browser here where we're going to log in as our administrator, and this is broken access control that I'm going to be testing for now. So that's also quite a bad vulnerability, because let's see if we can get the invoice overview. Yes, I can, and I was able to create a new invoice. That's a pretty bad one, because people who didn't pay for the invoices module can use the invoices module. Likewise, I can see orders here as well, so I can try the same thing for orders. That's your broken access control for you. So that is something that people have to be very careful about as well. To test this, you need to have an admin account to test this fully. You can also come across admin URLs, of course, where you don't need your admin account because you found the URL, and then it turns out there's broken access control on it. So that's that. We also have a cheese processor right here, and it's asking us to make a post request with the following data. Okay, so let's give that a shot, shall we? We have processed cheese.php. Send that to the request editor. Method post. And payload that it wanted us to give was stated on the page. Oh, I have to go to the proper request editor, of course, and we send that over. Now what we get is a page back that tells us we will process test, and as you might have noticed, test was something that you saw right here as well. Now how can we abuse that? XXE. Let's try that. Every time you see XML, you should see XXE basically. That is something very important, because XML is more than just .xml files. It's also SOAP requests, for example, or SVG files. So we can do certain things right here. We can define an external entity like we see right here, and then we can grab that entity and see if we can let's add an entity right here, display our entity. We've called it XXE in this case, and we do ampersand XXE to display our variable. Was it with, or yep, that was with a semicolon. Oh look, the whole list of users. Thanks a lot, server. That's really awesome. Lots of other things we can try, by the way. So SSRF, exploiting blind XXE, remote code injection. There's a lot of things that we can try with XXE. Is it still as relevant? Absolutely not. Not even close to as relevant as it used to be. Is it irrelevant? Absolutely not either. Because even though you might have XML processors that disable external entities by default, believe me, people are dumb enough to actually go and still try and do that and enable that. Now, that is about as far as I would like to go for today. There's still more vulnerabilities at play: SSRF, command injection, SQL injection, business logic flaws, insecure deserialization, JWT, open redirects, CAPTCHA bypasses, LFI and RFI, parameter pollution, and password reset vulnerabilities. So my friends, I hope I'll see you in the next one on YouTube, which is where I'm going to stop my stream. Bye bye.